All right, everybody, welcome back to Sean's Garage. Today I got something a little different for you. I know uh, most of what I posted has been car related, primarily the Malibu. Today we're going to do a little garage insulation. I spend, right now I think I spent like almost $60 on 10 gallons of kerosene, and that only gives me probably about 20 hours or so for my salamander. So last week it was in the teens and single digits overnight. This week's not too bad. It's in the upper 20s. I got a few inches of snow over the weekend, but yeah, kerosene's pretty expensive. Heat. You gotta have heat when you're living up here in the north. So I'm gonna try to insulate the barn. I don't know if I'll get it all done this year, but I'll get about half the barn done and complete the rest next year. And hopefully I won't spend as much in kerosene. So I'm gonna show you step by step how I'm doing each section of the pole barn and building shelf systems and stuff for it too. So let's get started. All right, everybody, here we go. This is one section that I'm going to do during this video, and then I'm also going to do these two sections. I've already gotten that done, back here done some rearranging, built some shelves, done this as well. And built some shelving and a French cleat system to hang stuff, get it up off the floor, and try to maximize as much space as I can in here. I mean, it is a 30 by 40 barn, but when you do multiple things between woodworking and cars and then basic home stuff, it fills up pretty quick. So I'm going to try to maximize what I can. The materials I'm going to be using, I'm going to rip 2x4s in half down to 1.5 inches. Use those for studs. And then I've got 1.5 inches polystyrene. I mean, they got more expensive stuff that's got a slightly better R value, but for out here, this will do fine. The barn's not heated all the time, only when I'm out here with the old salamander. So we got the polystyrene, and then for the wall covering, I mean, you could use drywall. Me, I like wood. So using 1/4 inch standard plywood, veneer style, and that's pretty much it for material that you need to actually cover the walls, and then whatever you decide to use for a French cleat system, if you decide to do that as well. So now I get to clear everything off the walls and get ready to start studding it out. All right, everybody, welcome back. I got the wall sections prepped, ready to go, everything cleared off of them to start this. I'll show you. I'm gonna be doing that section and this section. I got enough material for, I think, at least 3 sections, maybe 4. But for this video, I'm gonna just do these 2 because I still gotta clear that out and pull that shelf down. So right now I'm gonna start on cutting this polystyrene 4 by 8 by 1.5 inches thick. This stuff's kind of tricky to cut. I tried a utility knife and a straight edge, and the stuff just binds up, and you know, doesn't cut very well with a utility knife. I even, you know, fresh blade, all that, you know. So I use a table saw. It's a faster, but it's more dangerous with the table saw, because if you just tweak the sheet just a little bit, it'll bind up. I did that. This is the cutoff from one. I think I used the other one, but as you can see, it really gouged it up, tweaked it up here, and did that. Binds up, kicks back on you, and you know. So the last time I didn't have this extension on my on my stop, so I'm hoping this will be help me keep it in line better. I found a 2x4 is pretty straight, so I wanted to use something different. I had a piece of hickory picked out and bought, and when I bought all the rest of this material, I left it sitting on the cart. So somebody got a free piece of hickory. But let's cut some sheets. Safety first. Alright everybody, I got the styrofoam sheets ripped down to size. What I got going on here, I've got in the first cavity, I'm doing 2 foot on center stud. So I've got 3 sheets because I'm setting up cutting material for 3 sections. So I've got 3 at 21. Let me double check. I keep forgetting. 21 3/4. Those will be for the first cavity in each section. Then I've got, oh yeah, here 6 at 22 and a half. So the way that's going to work is this first section here, I'm going to have a 2x4. I'm ripping all the 2x4s down to 1.5 inches. So basically I'll have an 1.5 by 1.5 board nailed here. Then I'll have the 21 3/4 panel here, and then an 1.5 or 1.5 by 1.5 stud here, and then the next two sections will be the 22 and a halves, and then the last section I also have a board here for a plywood backer, and that'll be a custom cut. I won't know the size until I get it all done, but I've got enough styrofoam to do 3 of the first sections and then 2 of the next 2 sections. Then I'm going to have an 1.5 inch green board ripped in down to an 1.5 inch for the bottom, and then I'll have a white board cut 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch at the top, but I'm also going to have a full 2x4 behind that because the styrofoam is going to be sitting on here or laying up against these boards here. So I need a backer at the top. So I'll screw the 1.5 inch board to the full 2x4, and then that'll leave me an 1.5 inch reveal at the bottom for backer for the styrofoam. So that's what I got right now. So I've got my table saw set up for 1.5 inch, and then I've got a green board ready to go, pressure treated lumber ready to go on a table saw. Alright everybody, let's get back to it. Wifey called me in for dinner, so got a couple more hours in, and then I'll probably have to finish the rest of it up next weekend. But we'll get as far as we can today. Here I am ripping the 2x4s down to 1.5 inches, and I keep blowing the breaker. Now I'm marking the end studs for the wiring, and I'm going to make notches with the chop saw and a chisel. The chisel knocking out the center is the best way, fastest way I found to make the notch complete. All right, everybody, that would be the perimeter. Got the 2x4s ripped and the perimeter boards up. Switch it around. So, and I got my ripped 2x4 studs cut and ready. Had to do notching around the wiring. Same with that one there. And I got it nailed to the post. I got my top plate up with the backer. You got the green tree bottom board. Now I'll start with a 21 3/4. Then I'll put a stud. Then I'll put the 22.5 stud, 22.5 stud, and then I'll measure for the end piece. And then after that, some drywall. You'll notice I'm using air nailers, such as a framing gun and later on a staple gun. This job can also be done all with either hammer and nails or a screw gun and screws. When I'm using the framing gun to fasten the studs to the horizontal boards, I am angling the nails as well so they don't poke through the exterior siding, because they are 3.5-inch nails and there's only 3 inches of wood. So if you use a framing nailer, be sure to angle your nails when fastening them to the horizontal boards. Now I am going to be measuring for the final piece, and instead of using the table saw and freehanding the cut, which probably wouldn't work out well, I just ended up using a utility knife. There we go. I think that's it for today, and we'll probably hit it next weekend. All right, we're back. It's a new weekend, about a week later, so as you can see, I got all the, the 8-foot lengths of styrene put up. Now I gotta cut strips for the top, and then we're gonna do the plywood, and then that'll be all that she wrote for this. And then I'll probably have another video on how I do the organization, using the French cleat system. And then I'll build, I'm also going to build a shelf like I do over there. I'm going to continue it all the way down the barn, so that'll probably be in another video. So let's get to it. Hopefully, with any luck, they're all the same size. But the way this barn's been built, who knows? I'm gonna take the shortest measurement and I'm gonna cut both pieces at the same time. Save a little bit of work. This is where I made an oopsie. I wasn't paying attention and set this sheet of plywood up to go on backwards and didn't notice it until I was done. Types of pneumatic nailers. Make sure you put a couple drops of good oil in them. Spend a lot of money on them. Take care of them. Now this whole system here is just how I decided to do it. For me, it made sense because it was economical and easy. You could have done it a lot of different ways with spray foam or using full size studs and batt insulation. This is just how I decided to do it. Cut a rip to fill in the top, but I don't think I need to show that. For sure you guys can figure it out. Maybe actually I won't be using a piece of plywood. I got scrap or leftover hardwood flooring, engineered hardwood flooring that I'm using up to fill in the top just because I'm trying to use up but stuff I'm not going to use again. So once I've run out of that, then I'll have to use plywood scraps, but until then. All right, there you have it. All done, all insulated. The next video you see after this will probably be me doing the shelves and maybe some new benches because this area over here by the door, that's going to need a bench. And then I'm going to, let's flip it up. I'm going to replace my trusty fold-up table, and I'm going to make a actual good solid workbench, something heavy, something I can pound on. But there you have it, all done. You don't have to necessarily use the tools that I used. All this could be done with either hammer and nail or screw gun and screw. So I just happen to have air tools, so I use them, make things go faster, and it's not load bearing or anything. It's just holding up insulation and some shelves, so it should work pretty good for me. You guys may wonder what's going on with the Malibu. Well, there'll be a video about that coming soon, within the next couple months. I gotta get a little money together, and that's why you'll see the Corvette wheels on the Malibu. So there's a story behind that, so stay tuned. And for that story and what I'm gonna do about it. And the Corvette's name now is Touch of Gray, or gray hair. I mean, probably gray hair, because only old people own Corvettes. So that's going to be coming soon this year too, so stay tuned for that. So you guys enjoy, and hope you learned a little something. Stay tuned.